So we look at actually some of the applications, different applications, some agricultural applications in particular. Okay. This is city. My university is located just right across here. Walking distance. Okay. Sometimes you can meet Hollywood actors also. One of them are paid cricketers, famous cricketers, Prime Minister. You just meet also in the restaurant. Okay. I'll show you a series of applications. Okay. First is, this is the application that we did. So whatever I'm showing you, some of them are project work and some of them actually the PhD work as well. Okay. So this is modeling the impact of land cover changes on carbon storage and the space source. Okay. That means impact of land cover, the way land cover has been changed, right? What is this impact on carbon storage and space source in a particular area, which is ecosystem services approach. Tell me if you knew what is ecosystem services. The ecosystem that we have, it provides a huge deal of services to us, right? Every trees, every plants, the entire ecosystem, including actually the marine ecosystem and terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem, everything is providing a great deal of services to us, right? Without that, it can be a disaster. Right? So, it is very, and then obviously we have also seen that because of the climate change, the carbon, that the amount of carbon that we are releasing to the atmosphere, it has increased. There is an evidence of that. And because of that, actually the climate is also getting, our atmosphere is getting hotter and hotter and hotter. That is why the United Nations and all the countries have come up with these policies that how we can reduce our carbon output, right? And every country has been given actually a mandate and a deadline. India is what? 2050? I don't know. Huh? 2070. So we need more time also. We are much behind. Okay, because we still people who are actually burning the lakdi ka bhi bana jalate hain na. This is essentially what it is, right? Okay. Cool. Providing huge amount of carbon, but Dhanbad, Nandi hai. Okay, right? So renewable energies, how to make use of the renewable energy efficiently without actually, changing, without impacting so much on the climate. That's also very crucial. Now the question is how we can estimate. How we can estimate the land cover change, because that is inevitable. Because population has been growing, right? So when the population has been exponentially growing, we need shelter, we need a house construction, so we need to convert whatever current land use practices to different kind of land use practices. But we have to make sure that it's sustainable, right? When we have land, agricultural land, we are converting them actually to be, let's say, industrial land. We have to see the balances, impact analysis and assessment. So now, what was the aim of this study? To investigate the stored or lost carbon over the study period while answering three important questions. When you prepare your master thesis or PhD thesis, these are research questions that you pose, right? Research question is very important in thesis. Now I have seen actually a lot of thesis coming from here. There are no research questions. Straight away jumping into the objective. Objectives should have a few research questions. Ultimately, every problem is just a question. A problem, right? No one likes problem in life, but research will want problem, and a good problem, right? In life, you like problem. You like a problem in life. Because he is doing PhD, that means. Or he has already accepted life is full of problems. studies have mentioned how much carbon is stored or sequestered and how much it costs. What is the trend of land cover changes? That's not a problem. How it affects our carbon sequestration. These are the three important questions that we have to address. This is the study area. It's part of actually the central Jaggers region. Like what we have in Himalaya, for them actually that's a Jaggers, an extension of actually this Caracas mountain. Caracas, right? The Afghanistan. Oh, what is the mountain called? Maybe not Caracas. It's a very nice mountain. Okay. So there are different steps that we have to adopt. Think of it. Whatever knowledge that we have gathered so far, what we can do. First, second question was land use change analysis, which is straightforward. In any case, first thing first, we would like to see what are the changes that are happening, right? So, use temporal landsat images to find land cover change, because we want to see that what are the changes that are happening in the place. You know why it is not so good? Why? This one is very important. Second step, predict the future land cover using X model. Here in this case, use the neural network model. You can use machine, you can use deep learning, you can use any kind of model. Now, how to predict? Essentially, when you are producing a susceptibility map or flood hazard map, that is also prediction going into the future, right? So this again, that prediction is depending on the event that has happened in the past and X number of conditioning factors that might be conditioning actually for particular event. In this case, we have the evidence, the way the land use has changed over a period of time. So that means the trend analysis definitely can be done, right? X in my GIS lecture, remember I was showing the boxes, the trend analysis. Okay, X let's say feature A has changed its size, okay, or maybe strong. Feature B maybe has expanded and so on. Simple chain analysis you can be able to do that. So you see here it has been classified into different classes. But in this case, now if you look smart, your problem statement is different. Doesn't matter. You don't have to go very high quality spatial resolution data. You don't know now. You don't know what vegetation. We're not talking about, right? And how many classes that you would like to classify also depending on your problem. You wouldn't unnecessarily try to classify different tags, these, that. So this number of classes also would be good enough. So what are the classes we have classified here? Forest, irrigated farming, then what is this? I can read. Dry farming, scattered, I think deciduous forest, then that is water bodies, residential and bodies. Okay? So this many number of variables that has been, or classes that has been classified. Now, we predict, depending on the trend, okay, now we predict actually 20 years, 30 years, 40 years or 100 years. Okay, in this case we have predicted until 2050. Okay, possible, not a big deal. You can also do a simple exercise for Dhanbad. Okay, look back 30 years of data, see how Dhanbad has changed, and then based on that findings you can actually see the trend analysis. This is the current way that the city has been growing, because this is some of them are planned, some of them are unplanned. Okay, planned is the one which actually comes from the government implementation, right? But there are a lot of parts actually just expand because people migrate and then like a lot of agricultural activities, a lot of agricultural land should be converted into residential area and all those things. That's not planned. And I think here we don't have that much of a strict land law. Like the other day I was telling you, they're very strict. And the government will decide for you. Let's say you have 670 square meters in a particular suburb. We call suburb. Different suburbs. Mumbai also has suburbs. So in Australia, you have different suburbs. Every suburb there is a council. Okay? And the council comes up with actually the planning, that should be the area, size of the land that would allow you actually to build double story house. यहाँ पे क्या होता है, अपना जमीन है तो कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। 10 फुट बाय 10, 30 फुट भी हो तो मैं कुछ भी उधर इमारत डाल कोई कुछ नहीं, वहाँ ना पॉसिबल है। मैं तुम्हें कह रहा हूँ, so certain councils minimum requirement expect to split the land to two. Otherwise, let's say 700 square meter का land size है, land parcel. So they allow certain suburbs below 700. You can't split that. जैसे कि यहाँ पे क्या है, 700 फीट बड़ा है, तो उसको 3 घर बना दो, एक में अपन रहते हैं, दूसरा एक्चुअली किराए पे डाल। Nice. Economically making very 700 square meter, that means only one house. And you must have that much of land, you should kept it. Backyard, front yard, side, all these things, that is a guideline. If 695 square meter also not out, 701, you can split in half you can make house, another house you can sell that also. That is called land law. And why do they do that? They want to make a sustainable growth, because they want to study whether, if I allow, whether the suburb has enough activities, supporting activities population growth. Whether I have enough, whether I have provided as a government, I have provided adequate public transport. I don't know. वहाँ पे कहीं एक भी घर अगर government has allowed, at least you would have a bus stop. एक घर. If that will allow for you to build out. See the difference. यहाँ पे it's not there because we are still growing, right? All these laws has to be implemented, but it's very hard to implement here. तो 1000 चीजें तो लोग आ गए। हाँ? हर किसी का इशू। हाँ, it is hard to implement. 1000 लोग प्रोटेस्ट में नेक्स्ट आ गए, वर्षों भी चला रहे हैं। And it has to be sustainable, right? फिर हम बोलेंगे अपना करा, मेरा बाप दादा मेरा है, I can do whatever I want to do. What government started doing now? Certain areas, they feel that no, 100 years later maybe I will meet that land. I'm not sure I will at that time. That's why they don't sell the land. And everything belongs to the country, right? Again, we have bought it. Our forefathers would have bought it. Government land. Okay. So what happens is that they keep the land and give you lease for 99 years. I've got a house in Malaysia, lease land, 99 years. Because that means what? 99 years it's up to me now to decide whether I would like to renew or not. But I would do compensation. That particular time, what is the land price, including your construction, whatever you have, it's a fair assessment I do. But the ownership has not given. Because I do not know the way the land, the ways it has been expanding, I as a government would like to, I would decide what I want. So lease land is because we want everything belongs to us, और हम मरेंगे भी हमको लगेगा कि 7 सालों के बाद भी हमारा बच्चे के पास ही है। लेकिन हाँ खुद खाओ आपको पूरा आपका आइडिया चाहिए strata concept it's slowly in India is coming. Strata concept of strata is what? When actually जब apartment करते हो runs in strata, right? So in strata it's also you own a piece of land but very small piece of land. मान लो एक 6000 स्क्वायर फीट में एक vertical apartment हुआ है. It's not that you are not owning actually. You own, and in Australia they would also estimate what is your land price. The government will estimate what is your land price, depending on what is your built up income. Plus ratio and everything they will calculate. It's very important. यहाँ पे इसलिए कर्जे तो बहुत होता है. एक लैंड को 50 रुपए से तो मूवी आया हुआ था नहीं आया तो नहीं आया था दिल्ली में जगह में बेच दिया 2 बार तो भाग रहे उसके पीछे. अब सब नहीं होता जियो टाइम सब हो गया जियो भुवनेश्वर में तो मेरे दोस्त लोग अभी फंसे मेरा दोस्त 15 साल से फंसे हुआ है. फिर उधर लोग गुंडा करके करते हैं. He put actually his own खरीद के he has built his own thing. उसके ऊपर से और कोई एक्टिविटी किया फिर गन पॉइंट में आ जाते हैं. आ जाओ फिर देखते हैं जो जीतेगा तो तीन तुम मरोगे हम मरेंगे. And government cannot do anything because this बंदा also दिखा रहा है मैं भी खरीदा हूँ वो भी बोल रहा है मैं भी खरीदा. So it's because there is not legalization process are not being correctly done. This is impossible. इसलिए मैं बता रहा था ना. In Australia, each and every piece of land is well recorded. Fine, every meter. And उसका ownership from its the way it has been actually issued. कैसे पास हुआ, क्या प्राइस था, कैसे बढ़ा है. Those are the data also highly essential for you to do the analysis. Right? Okay, going back to this. Now it's possible actually to do this kind of prediction. Next step, we are doing the modeling using the ecosystem services model. So this is a very famous, those who are working on the ecosystem modeling, ecosystem services, there is a famous actually model that they use. In GIS also you can develop this as long as you understand the concept. Okay, so what they do is LCT means ecosystem ESM means ESM. LCT is what? Ecosystem service model. What is LCT? Land cover temporal changes. Okay, land cover prediction, right? Temporal changes. Now, so this is okay. This you don't have to know this because this is software. There are some specialist support system. But this is the natural capital. Okay. So what we did was, in this case, in this software, we calculated actually the carbon sequestration amount. Okay. But how do you do in GIS? There are equations you can use also, right? But then for check, they also have actually the free trial. What do you call that? License. Also you can use. Okay? That can be calculated straightly. And most important thing, since we are doing actually the land use chain analysis and also in predicting, so when you are predicting, you can also see that how much of forest area, okay, that is getting destroyed or getting converted actually to another piece of land. Because forest is the one which stores the carbon. Right now, इसलिए बोलते हैं ना, trees लगाओ. Those days, dancing before the new co-fathers, our co-fathers, they knew. First thing actually, they would in the house, they would plant actually some mango trees, some land. They understood this concept. Not only actually just to eat the fruit, but also they knew that this is very important to balance the ecosystem. Okay, right or wrong? तो सब सफा करके पूरा टाइल्स लगा देते हैं. नहीं अभी भी ये कंसेप्ट है. तुम्हारा वहाँ होगा. इधर कहाँ है? तो लास्ट ईयर भी नहीं है ना. इसलिए मूल पानी के लिए बचा है. लोग तो रास्ता और गुजरात. नहीं रास्ता गुजरात के बॉर्डर पे बाहर. चलो एक्सेंट साउंड्स लाइक गुजरात. Okay, so this can be calculated easily. Okay. Carbon data that are available now. There are free carbon data also for different types of trees, forest. That is, and the volume obviously you know, you can calculate what is the storage amount. That means this tree, how much actually carbon it stores. These are universal. Okay. Different tree species obviously, how much of carbon is going to store. And now that you know exactly spatial, so you can calculate, quantify. Okay. So that is what actually the carbon data goes as F.CS. Okay. Next is, once we estimate actually the carbon storage, then what we did, this one was used for carbon sequestration calculation. Okay. I forgot actually what are the equations used, but just telling you the process steps. You can read the paper. Remember exactly. Okay. So here the predicted values of stored carbon and the predicted values of sequestered carbon. You can check this paper if you are interested in this. All the equations and steps we have mentioned. Then we do a little bit of statistical analysis that the relationship between the land cover changes with the carbon. Okay. So how the land cover changes for different period, how the land cover changes, and the different conversion of the land cover, how it will contribute actually, whether positively or negatively to the carbon storage. Okay? Right or wrong? So when you convert from forest to another type of land class, obviously then the carbon storage will be low, the emission will be higher. Right or wrong? So positive and negative that you can calculate. Okay. Another is conversion of rangeland to irrigated farming is shown by negative values, which means carbon emission to atmosphere. Okay. So irrigated farmlands, they are not good actually to store the carbon, right? Because they are for a very short period of time, isn't it? Is it not? Then conversion of forest and rangeland to dry farming, that is also something that we saw. Conversion of forest and rangeland to dry farming has a direct relation to the carbon emission. Okay? Obviously, you can expect that forest is the one where the carbon sequestration becomes the higher. Isn't it? That is the main source where actually it stores the carbon. So, conversion of forest to man-made land cover is the main cause of emission. Okay? Any kind of, it's not that actually you are, converting a forest to, let's say, agricultural. That means just because it's you are replacing with another type of vegetation doesn't mean that the ecosystem has been balanced now. Okay? Okay. Now I can another work is estimation of above ground biomass of oil palm trees by person. Who is the number one oil palm producer in the world? We are using actually oil palm, right? Now, once upon a time it used to. This has dropped. And why it has dropped outside? Indonesia. South Indonesia. In 1970s, Malaysia used to be actually a tidal country. 70s, 80s. One university used to be 2 ringgit. That's the local currency. Malaysia. Okay. Then came actually 90s, where there is a Asian financial crisis. Many countries went into that bankrupt. Okay? Overnight, the currency dropped from 1:2 to 1 to 9. You might have heard actually this. There is an American guy called George Soros who played out the currency. Something like actually what this guy did, but he did it in the stock exchange. But what he did that actually, he played with the currency. Okay. many countries vast. Malaysia also like seriously affected. Because see, all trading is happening with the green tag. Green tag means they stop. So whether they are in the business or not, but they are still making money. Because every time you do a conversion from US dollar, US. Right? Yes. Right? So Thailand went into recession, all the Southeast Asian countries went into recession. Malaysia came up with a new idea because recession means what? Cost. So you have to go and ask for money to the IMF because you don't have reserve now. Let's say you had $300 billion in your foreign reserve. Foreign reserve is the one who tells you that how much you can do the trading in advance, right? The trading happens in advance. You have to understand the economy. Why Pakistan is in a very bad state? Because the foreign reserve is not there. Okay. See, I can loan you, or I can make a promise to give you a goods based on actually your whether you can be eligible to pay me or not. Otherwise, I'll be risking it, right? तो तुम्हारा जो ट्रेडिंग होता है ना 6-7 महीने पहले लॉक हो जाता है. Goods that we are buying, importing or exporting, that is being locked. Doesn't fluctuate in a daily basis. So there is a little bit of buffer they do, the trading, for the goods and the blocking. Now imagine, हमारा 300 billion था, now divided by 9. Yeah, no? How much you could buy? Sri Lanka. China paid it out. Okay. Malaysia said no, I am not going to borrow money from you because I know you are crooked guys. You want me actually to borrow you means you will become my boss. You tell me what. मुझे नचाओ. So they came up with a very unique idea, which the whole world laughed at. The idea was I take the bucks. See, it used to be 2, now it has gone to 9, but I know what is my worth. What are the reserves, what are the resources, everything I have. So I peg the currency to 3.8. All the trading from here on, that is fixed. I won't let actually the currency to fluctuate. IMF also laughed at that. Your country is going to be bankrupt. It bounce back in 5 to 6 years without borrowing money. Other countries went into US debt trap. When money is there, easy money is there for you to take it. See, this is the thing that people don't understand. Again, out of stocks. When in our country, we know that we want actually free stuff, right? 3,000 अकाउंट में डाल दिया, ये स्कीम में 4,000 उसमें दे दिया, उसके में ये दे दिया. Remember this is not sustainable at all. This is a disaster because where the money is coming from? There is a pool of money, right? So they have to cut down. Let's say education, they are supposed to spend X amount of dollar. Now that they have to keep here because elections, यहाँ पे थोड़ा कम करेंगे. क्या construction में, infrastructure में थोड़ा कम करेंगे. Okay? Service delivery में थोड़ा कम करेंगे. Okay? Hospital and medical sector में थोड़ा कम करेंगे. Ultimately, who's the loser? 3,000 रुपया एक बार आया गया. जाके दारू पी गए, जो भी है तो हो गया बस. थाली खरीद ली, हो गया. Greece went into bankrupt. You know that Greece in the 90s went into bankrupt. It used to be the one of the best place to retire there. Because their retirement benefits was the best in the world. You retire, you also continue receiving the same amount of salary when you retire. That was what actually the retirement scheme was. Pension. But कहाँ से आएगा पैसा? Yeah. So why this actually project was important? Because it's not that you are just producing actually or selling oil palm, being one of the largest producers in the world. It's also how much carbon. All those are things also you have to see. Because you are converting the land, right? Forest land, you are converting to. Okay? So here in this stage, this is a very old work that we did. Initial stage, because not much work was done at that time. To show the potential use of L and SAR, synthetic aperture radar data, to estimate the above mass of oil palm. These are oil palms. Okay? This is the 6 years old oil palm. Okay? What approach that we used? Step by step. First, field work and data collection. In this case, what we did was, we bond the oil palm trunk and we calculated the ratio and the carbon that actually is releasing as well. At that time, this information was not available. Another study we did, I had a PhD student. We tried in this oil palm, predicting the early disease. There is one disease called yellow disease in oil palm. Okay, it can affect the fruiting as well. So we wanted to use the hyperspectral sensing tools and machine learning to predict in advance. Early one. It's not कि actually cancer हो गया उसके बाद बोल रहे हम क्या करें. That's already remedy. Early one means stage 1. Before stage 1. Right? Just about to go so that you can take the necessary precaution and prevention. Okay. So first field data collection and blah blah blah, all these things I did. Then there is an allometric equation that we developed. I'll show you. Okay. As a remote sensing data, we use 2 radar sat images. Okay. Why? Now the question is that, sir, why did you? Because there was no application of radar. Okay. You have to see the ability of radar. See, that is what research is all about. When everyone is doing and you do, that's like sitting on a passenger train. Right? Then because that is the one which has the penetration ability. You long over it. You have P, L, C, right? Long over. Okay. And image processing, we did the pulsar images were first geometrically corrected. Then we use a Laplacian printout to multiple locations for each age group. Because now that we have different age group of oil palm as well. Then we estimate the relationship between the biomass and the remote sensed data. That means the data that we produce in our lab and we did actually the regression analysis. Try to see establish the relationship between them. When you don't have this thing, you have to do that. With spectral signature of many species, if it is not there, you could establish that. Okay?
Sir, how Laplacian filter is used?
That is, you mean the mathematical? Laplacian filter actually it is an aggregation filter. Yeah.
So how can you use in this case?
Why did you use? You see, Laplacian filter that you use for what? What did you do here? You see here. Laplacian filter was used for what? I told you. I said that for different age group. Because it is very important to know that what is the age group. Right? Trunk size is different. Your backscattering value also is going to be different. Right? Your sigma naught value is going to be different. Correct? So you wanted to smoothen that process. Even when you want to do in the oil spill detection also, gamma filtering and Laplacian filtering are very useful. Okay. Then we classify, see, different age groups. That's why actually the filtering technique becomes useful. See, there are different age groups, age 5, age 8, 10, 12, 14. Okay. Then we did the analysis. We took the backscattering, which is the dB value or sigma naught, and the above numbers. That means we took actually, we cut the trees from the field, burnt it to calculate actually the biomass. And then we try to relate, because so that we can develop that equation for the remote sensing based products. Okay? So one of those days. So then you see, we also said that other type of filter also can be used as well. You know, maybe to improve the work, maybe I'm really to high pass filter also. Okay. Another problem statement. Estimating oil palm counting and age estimation from wall view 3 image. Wall view 3 is good resolution, high resolution image. In combination with the LiDAR data, using a new kind of approach, integrated OBI, height model and regression analysis. How many of you know OBI? Object based image analysis. Okay guys, have you all learned about object based image analysis so far? In image processing? No? Only pixel based assessment? Pixel based assessment many times are not good. Have to learn what is object based image analysis. There is a specific software for that. MB software you can use. Another one yesterday at the morning I mentioned to you. What is that? Mitigation. It's a German software. Okay. So this is the study area. Two types of data sets. Two types of database we use. One is wall view 3. One is LiDAR. Remember what we were discussing? Tree mounting and the height. Okay. LiDAR has the ability to penetrate to the vegetation. Right? First, wall view 3, you do all the pre-processing steps. Volumetric correction, atmospheric correction, climatic correction, band sampling. Because you have one band, very high spatial resolution. Other color bands actually, obviously spectrally they are rich, but spatial resolution is low. That's how you do the band sampling measurements using this tool, so that you get spatially rich and spectrally also rich. Then that is why the OBI comes in, to the segmentation technique. Image-based segmentation technique basically you do the segmentation. Okay? You have learned? You use different types of features there, like scale. Okay? Then what else you will? Merge, corner, different types of actually segmentation also we can use. After that step, we use the support vector machine. The next step we use support vector machine. Doesn't matter. You can use any kind of supervised classifier. But I still prefer support vector machine because it's very robust and consistently it gives you good result. Okay, and two types of, because in support vector machine there are different kind of classifiers are available. Radial bias, radial basis, and polynomial. So many, 6, 7, 8 kind of classifiers are available. That's why I'm telling you, there are maybe multiple hundreds of classifiers, supervised classifiers in one group. Okay. Then post-processing, vector analysis, cleaning and moving, finally into the counting of the outcome. Then obviously accuracy assessment and comparison. So this is the counting data goes, and we keep it as out. Okay. Second set of data is LiDAR. Pre-processing. Then you calculate the DSM and the DTM. Right? DSM is including everything. Correct? DTM is the bare earth. Right? So now DSM minus DTM, you get the height of the trees. Isn't it? Right or wrong? Tree. So extracting trees down also progress from the. See, nowadays, if you look at the OBI recognition, it has already been embedded also for tree counting. You take the good quality images, you develop, you just demarcate actually the ground, it can be counted, use automatically. Okay. Now, yes.
The segmentation works good in a similar type of objects. So if there are
Similar type of objects means
like there are cars, so it can detect
yeah, exactly. There are all palm, right? All are all palms.
But if there are more than one type of vehicles, then I want to just detect cars.
It's difficult. It's complex. So that is why we do first pixel-based analysis, and then you can still develop from there a segmentation-based analysis. You can mix and match. There is no hard solve. There is no hard possible. Okay. So after subtracting this, we apply different kind of concepts because not knowing what is the crown of the trees. We use 1 by 1 color, 3 by 3 color. Then we estimate the height of oil palm. Using different kind of regression analysis, we try to. Here, this is where the classified counted trees also come as one of the input. Okay, please show you. Once I show you the result, you understand. Are you ready with me? See, this is the segmentation that we did. Correct? Tree segmentation. You can see the oil palms. Did the tree segmentation. We divided the entire area into different blocks. Block A, B, C, D, and all that. Okay. See, actual counted trees and estimated trees. There is obviously there is a difference. Okay. Actual is let's say 1114. Estimated trees is 1141. And you can see there is a little bit of obviously. It's not 100% accuracy, but close. Good enough. In the excess of 95% at least. Okay? Then obviously you can use all those statistical measures. Right? Precision, then all those recall, right? Then Pearson coefficient, then you can use what? Another the matrix, kappa coefficient. All the, you can use it. You F measure and everything. And you can see that that's very good. Right? So that means the segmentation process that we established here has a very high accuracy. Okay. Now oil palm height estimation using LiDAR data. Both age and the height. You can see that for the age estimation, this is the accuracy. And the R square is about 0.92. Okay? This is very, 10 years ago, maybe this what we have done. Now, a lot of new things we can apply in closing. Just recently, another paper we published, I think what, 4 months ago. Forest. It's a very deep, dense forest. You have to, whatever is there, you just try to improve it. Okay? Okay. I think we should stop because any questions you have?
How do you calculate the age?
Huh?
How do you calculate the age using LiDAR data? How do you calculate the age?
Very good question. Now, every age group, the crown would be different size. 2 years old tree and a 6 years old tree, the crown would be different. You know what is crown? Tree crown, the canopy. The height would be different.
Using LiDAR data, we can only get the
Height. Height. So 2 years old height, 6 years old height, that would be different. There would be outliers obviously. जैसे कि 14 साल का बच्चा स्कूल में जाते हो तो जूता भी मिलता है, right? Then it will जाता है. So that's why it's not 100% correct. Now you can see that. See, it's not direct. There are a lot of ways that you can calculate. You can't say that I can't calculate. You can't estimate. 95% of the time I can say yes, I can. And with certain degree of accuracy, please. Okay? And remove that. Some of them are not healthy, right? Malnourished, obviously. They were the one who would be getting this kind of problem. Yeah. So many applications, mind-boggling applications. So don't tell me when you are selecting a topic. बहुत सारे topics. But तुम्हारा syllabus ही actually need to be upgraded. तुम ये भी नहीं जानते. This I used to teach about what? Mitigation, object-based image analysis. VIA. So guys, how can you be masters in geomatics? Degree का नाम geomatics है ना? क्या geometric engineering? Just geomatics, no engineering. Just geomatics. Any question? So I showed you some examples today. Carbon, then video shows, all these. Another case study tomorrow I will show you marine policy. और कुछ और